Okay, so today we're going to do a couple of videos on doing tapestries in BT4. First off, you need to know how big you want your pattern to be. You need to make sure whether you want it to be a loom or a peyote. I'm going to do this in a peyote because that's what lady is looking for, is to try and make a tapestry in peyote. Next, you want to raise your columns. Let it adjust here. You want to raise your columns up. We'll start it at 80 by 90, only until we see how big the picture is that I'm going to use for today's lesson. And then you come over here, and for the first thing you want to do is you want to go into picture. You want to find a picture that you want to do. And for this one, I've chosen the top half of the horse here. And you just click on it, and it'll show up here. I hid it because I didn't want it to be on here when I first started this. Now, what I do is I'll bring it over here to the center, and I grab the bar at the top, and I move this away from the top and away from the left side. This way, you can put your picture on there. Okay, now you see how I've got it? I've got the little blue arrows, so they're more or less hidden on the outside of what I'm doing for my tapestry here. Okay. Now, I need more columns. So I take the columns out just enough so that it covers to the edge, but to where it's not doing the little arrow thing, because you'll notice if I do, watch what happens if I go up two more. See how my mouth turns to the double arrow? You'll wind up pulling your work instead of the photo. So back it back down to this way. Your arrow is on your photo, not on your work part. Now, if I want that photo to be actually bigger than what it is, I will, of course, pull it out and with my double arrow, and then I'll increase the size here, but I will still only go so that it's not touching that arrow. You see how I just bring it right up to it? Now, I can see I still got this little arrow over here, so let's go and pull that over a little bit and knock that down one more. There we go. Now, scroll down. Even though I made it bigger, I still have too many squares down here on the bottom. So I'll drop that down. Again, just above the little arrow here, so I'm not hitting my picture. Then I'll come up here to zoom, and I'll click on 300. Now, you see how big your holes are now? Now, this is where it gets interesting. Because when you zoom, your picture and your workstation both zoom. Now, you know that the tree is green, and it's got dark greens, medium greens, it's got little grayish greens and that. But let me show you something. When you use the transfer, right now I have it set for 40, the nearest colors, and I've got it to keep this open, and I've got it like that for a reason, because once you click on begin, it will fill in everything here. Okay? But let me show you what it looks like when it does that. Now, you saw how you saw what the horse and everything looked like before I zoomed it out. So let me show you now what it looks like when you do transfer by their method, which is just to set these here. The filters, these are all the filters is your beads. You can use it transparent, you can use every single thing in here. All the different finishes. You know, you can use all these. But your biggest thing is this here. What you want to use, like Miyuki Delicas, Miyuki Rounds, Preciosa Rocales or Rounds, Toho Rounds, or you can use their list of generic colors. For this example, I'm going to use the Miyuki Delica 11s. Now, I'm going to click Begin. Now, I'm going to close it just for the purpose of this, so I can zoom it back down to 100%. So you can see what this came out to be. Before I do that, you'll notice they have silver here. That was not silver, that was white. Where did the silver come from? Here, the trees. They have black and gray and brown. Where did the black, gray, and brown come from when you know it's green? And this is what it looks like. Now, granted, they did the horse pretty decently, but the horse doesn't have any colors like that in it. If you look at the picture, the horse is all tan. It's all one color. Except for his muzzle, which is black. And his hooves are black. The tree in the background is green. It's not black. The sky. There's nothing silver in this area. See, there's nothing silver in this area, but they got silver here. There's nothing silver up here, but they've got silver and dark silver. You know, so it's like, okay, how do you have so many different colors for something that's not even there? And this is one reason why I don't like using the transfer, because it puts colors in there that were not in there before. And all these blacks. You see how many colors it gave me? All these colors. All those colors. But yet, all your blacks are not in here except for on his muzzle and on his two hooves, which his second hoof here you can't even make out. They've got it blended right into the tree. So if you want to use the transfer, it's good to start with, but then you have to go into your palette. Go into your palette for the areas that are green. Type the word green. And it'll bring you up all the greens that he has, or what he classifies as green. I mean, I'm sorry, but this one that he's got called mint green satin, I'm sorry, but that looks white, not green. I mean, that may be what it is, but you know, and these ones here, these are turquoise. They're turquoise blue, not green. This one is turquoise blue, not green. I mean, I don't see no green in those colors. All I see is blue. And I don't think I'm the only one that's going to say that those are blue, not green. This one here, yes, I know that one is a light green because I have that color of green in my stash. That's a Ceylon green. Okay, so for the trees, let's see, what color do we want to use? The trees are actually green. So let's start on the left side over here. Now we need a dark green. And I have noticed that on his metallic colors, he's like DB3 here. It's metallic forest green AB. But DB3 is actually like an iris color. So we really don't want that for the tree. So let's come down here. Let's see. Where's the forest green? Okay, this one is a forest green lined topaz, which means it'll have a brownish tint to it. Let's see, dark greens. Now this is forest, so this will have a silver lining on it. Sometimes that silver lining will show, other times it won't. Let's see. And you'd be surprised that some of your transparent colors are actually really dark. Even though they say transparent, they are actually dark. So let's see if we can come up here and find the actual. Okay, let's change that to forest. Okay, so they give us only 4 examples of forest, which we all know that there's more than just 4 colors. We need a dark green, and I don't want to use the metallic on this simply because of the fact that it's an iris as well. and you'll have to pick and choose which green you want there. Let's see. Dark green, let's see. That's a rainbow green, so again, it's got different colors. And this is forest green lined opal, so let's just go back to the green again. Okay. We want a dark green, but we want to go with something that people are going to be able to... Now, this is an AB. It's matte metallic. I don't have this one in my... I don't have this one in my sets. I can't really tell you exactly how dark or whether that's got any iris to it. But come back over here to your regular palette once you figure out what green you want to do. And now come over here and click on one of these blacks. You want to right click it, and then you see how it's highlighted over here. Now this says it's a metallic French plum. There's no plum in greens. Plum is actually a purple. And I'll continue with this in just a minute.